All right, guys. So I'm back, and I've made a few changes. I wish I had recorded them when I was making them, but some of the changes that I made is I completely refactored my code, so I made them more modular. We have different files for that handles different functions. But I thought this would be a cool thing to record. Um, well, one of the main reasons I didn't record myself doing the process is because it's kind of tedious sometimes, honestly, and there's a lot of trial and error. But this time, I want to share something cool with you guys. This is my first time trying to do it. There's gonna be some trial and error. Um, but this one is I am. So you guys can see here. I have this little battery pack under the ESP32. Oh, sorry, feeling exhausted. So what I'm going to do is, as you can tell, I'm running Wi-Fi, and I'm going to push my updates OTA, so over the air. But I thought it would be cool to set up a essentially a way for us to debug, because when you push your updates OTA over the air through your ESP32, your microcontroller, you don't have access to monitoring the code like this in here. Hold on, that's not it. Yeah, you can't monitor it. So if I hit enter, nothing's happening. Like I cannot see the errors here, right? Nothing's happening. So I want to do that to bring it over the browser. So if we push new code and something's not working, it's not behaving exactly how it's supposed to be behaving, then we can just inspect the code and see what's wrong with it and change it and fix it. So it makes it more convenient that way and more scalable, whatever. Just easier. Okay. Without further ado, let's dive into it. So we'll be using. There's several ways to do that. You could use MQTT. You could use uh, web serial in a browser tab. We could do that, but why reinvent the wheel when we already have stuff that can handle these things for us? So I'm going to be using Telnet debug server. A lot of device smart little devices uses that. Like my drone uses it. A lot of device use that. So we'll start with that. So the first step we need to do is we need to create a telnet debug that h file. So I'm just going to cd into the yep and here, and let's get that goes to touch, and then we'll call this telnet um, debug that itch. I like that. Telnet debug that itch. So that's created. Let's open it. Open Telnet debug that itch. Yeah. Should have specified where we wanted to open. That it opened it in the. My God! It opened it in the Xcode. Anyway, so let's see, guys. Let's run through our thought process before we start writing code. So we know we gotta know where the telnet server opens the port. So I know it opens the port in port 23. We can connect to it via terminal or tools like Putty. So if you're running Windows, you can use Putty to connect to it. But I'm on Mac, so I can just use my terminal, which I like that. Then we'll be using serial printing just to log errors over Wi-Fi. Um, yeah, so yeah, let's kind of dive into the project and So you'll notice something different this time. I don't have the assistant, the AI assistant, available with my typing. Don't get me wrong, it helps. Okay, it helps a lot. It's just when I'm recording videos and I'm trying to think, it doesn't really help. If that makes sense, right? Just like talking a lot doesn't really help. But anyway, Telnet. So I'm putting the naming for this here. Debug H, and it's defined. Debug H. Then we're going to include some libraries. So what do we need? We definitely need the Wi-Fi library and the Wi-Fi client library. So let's include our library and include um, Wi-Fi H. Uh, okay. Include Wi-Fi client.h. So that's done. Let's fix this with Copilot. Okay. The NF for this directive is missing. You need to add the missing NF. I thought I did that. Huh. I guess not. There you go. So we needed to add that. That's what it is. Okay, cool. So I haven't noticed it. I'm exhausted. So now we're going to. All right, let's start with this. We're assigning the server to port 23, like we mentioned earlier. And then we're going to do Wi-Fi client. And this one is, we're calling the Telnet client on it. And honestly, yeah, I messed up here. There we go. So that's that. Um, we're following kind of the same principles in with these Arduino. So Arduino has a void setup and a void loop. It has a void handle. So of course we need to set up telnet. So let's just do that setup telnet. So we're going to do void. This should be a little bit faster for me. Um, yeah. So like this, and then we're gonna tell it to begin. Telnet server. So we're calling our telnet server and we're calling the begin function on that. And that's that. Now, so we're gonna sure that there's no delay on our telnet server because we don't have it too much delay, or if we could reduce the delay to 0, that would be perfect, but we can't. So telnet server. So we're gonna call no set no delay. This is a built-in function. Set, there it is, no delay, and we're setting that it's a boolean one, so we're gonna set it to true. All right, now that we're done, so we're gonna call this the print function. So we do serial that print. We don't know if telnet started. All right, print ln. Let's use print ln. We'll do question. Sorry guys. Let me find some emojis here. There you go. You know what? Let me just use the assistant to give me an emoji. That emoji did not come through. I don't know why. Um, but we'll ask the assistant here. Question mark. Oh shoot. Yep, there it is. We got a little question mark emoji. Um, I love that. Guys, that's my signature. Um, that's how I write code. I've been doing this thing since I don't know, since I started programming. When it before AI was a thing. Started on port 23, 23. Right? Am I saying that right? Okay, so now this looks really good to me. Um, I could stop and test it, but man, I know it will work. So now we gotta use the handle function. Let's handle telnet. We gotta handle telnet. Um, Make sure that the client's connected and all that good stuff. So handle telnet. Actually, I should do to handle telnet. I should do, yeah, handle function for um I guess, yeah, I'm not coming up with a good name for this one. I'll come back later, but you guys will see what I'm doing essentially. Void handle telnet. um so now we have that, and let's see, handle, did I spell that right? Yes, yes. And then we're gonna do telnet server. There you go. That has client. Thank you for that. And that's a built-in function. And then we can, if it has client, what we can do is run another check if parentheses not telnet client. So if it's not a telnet client, we can do or not a telnet connection, or not a telnet client connected, I should say. Sorry about that. Or not a telnet client connected. There it is, not connect. It's a built-in function. Um, let's put that in here. And then what do we want to do? We can do telnet client. We can assign it telnet client is equal to telnet server that available, right? Telnet client is equal to telnet server that available. Yeah. Then we're printing the serial. That print ln. And we are going to print this little emoji. I got this cute emoji in my library here. I'm just gonna copy it. You might like this emoji. Yay! Somebody behind the computer. Telnet. Telnet client connected. We're connected. Hey, so we can start debugging. That's why we have a person behind the computer. And then we can do telnet client dot print ln. And then we'll put a check mark emoji, a success mark, whatever you want to call it. Let's do this like that. There you go. Telnet debug connected. All right. So now let's not forget this. C++ is like a strictly typed language. It gets mad about everything that you forget. It's kind of annoying because I'm coming from like, background of PHP and JavaScript, so you know how that goes. Reject client equals telnet server. Oh, it auto completed for us. Available. Um, Reject client. Service available. Yep, there you go. This is good. Now we're gonna do reject, and then we'll do print reject client that print ln, and then we can again use our good our friendly emojis here. This emoji is going to um tell you that it's not available. Only, let's type this, only one client allowed. So that is good, and we can do reject client that stop. It's a built-in function. So a lot of these functions are built in, which is very useful to us. Now, what do we want to do? We want to print everything out to the window, right? Because if Telnet client is and Telnet client and Telnet client is connected and they're available, we want to start printing stuff out. And then we can do some nice little stuff here. So we're going to work on this here. Another if statement. So I already kind of said it while I was talking. So telnet client and so it would have been nice if we could just end like this. It would have been amazing, like Python. And telnet client dot connected. I messed up somewhere. I'll go back and look at it where I messed up. And then we add our, okay, I think that's it. We need to space this out, maybe. Yeah. Telnet client um and Telnet client. Interesting. I'm not sure what's the problem. Let's ask AI. Sometimes when in doubt, we consult with the mighty AI. So what does it say? The problem is the if statement in 934 outside of a function or class, which is not allowed in C++, you should remove or move it inside of a function. Oh, okay. I see. I see. That's correct. I didn't even notice that. So we are actually outside of a function. Um, we should have been here because we finished our else statement. Then we could have done this. Something like uh, we gotta put another color bit. Something like this. If Telnet client. Wait a minute, guys. Yeah, I think we should be fine. Yeah. I don't know why I'm freaking out. Sorry about that. And Telnet client that connected. Connected, guys, connected. Okay, so that's taken care. What? Oh, what is going on? Okay, that's taken care of. And then we can continue and proceed with our business. So we're going to do if telnet client that's available. Yeah, thought I would serenade you guys. Is it working? So we are continuing with string commands because we're passing a string here, so this is going to be string data. Gotta explicitly um assign just what type of data value is going to be in the variable. So it's going to be string. So telnet client that read string. Uh, is that is that what I need? I think it might, yeah, I think it might be something like this until then let's put this in here. So now we'll do command that we're gonna trim this board out, the data that comes to this, and then we can do telnet client that print, and then we can say you said, I don't know, whatever. And telnet client print command print ln, and we're just passing the command out there. There we go, and then close this off. So this is looking pretty cool. Now let's do those. We got define, and then we're doing TP. I'll explain these in another video. Trying to speed this up. And then, matter of fact, I think there's another project that I might have something like this, I could just copy and reuse. Yeah, I'll be right back. Yep, I think I do have a project. Because those are kind of cumbersome to write. There we go. Problem solved. Nice. Okay, so we need to set this up in our man. Let me just close that up. We need to set this up in our man, and guess where we're gonna put it? Right here. I'm gonna put this right here. So, right under, let's see, serial, print modality, built-in LD, built-in LD low. Printing lots of stuff. Wi-Fi is connected. Yeah, we want to do that right after Wi-Fi is connected. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna do setup. We're setting up Telnet like this, and in our loop we're gonna do handle Telnet. We're gonna do handle Telnet. I could slap it in here. Yeah, why not? Handle Telnet. That looks good to me. Okay, so now let's fix these errors. For quick, it's gonna define it for us. All right. Okay. Let's close that. It's not gonna define it for us, so I will define it for us. Set up Telnet. There's the problem. See the problem, guys? I was wondering why it's not reading it. Handle Telnet. Okay. Then let's include this file. We're gonna do include. There's a couple problems, but this was the biggest one. Telnet. Okay, cool beans. Any more errors that I should be aware of? Okay, so we still have the handle one. Okay, let's go back here. I'm gonna copy. My brain's dead, so I'm just gonna copy that, and whatever the problem is, it should fix it. There we go. It's all done. Yay. So we're gonna use telnet command. So right now, if I go to my computer, well, there, we gotta push the update first of all. But again, I'm gonna show you something real quick before well, not before I push the update. I'm gonna push the update. So I have pure run ESP. So I'm running it over the end. What is it now? This thing gotta be kidding me, right? Like we clearly have this set up. So of course, I'm not in the current directory. I'm in the freaking oh god. There we go. That should work now. There, that's pushing the update. I think we might run into an error. Look, we had some squiggly line up there, but let's see. So let's wait for that. Okay, so this is installed. I mean, we flashed off firmware. Um, let's check this. Yep, temperature updated, so the firmware is flashed. Um, cool. So now we might be wondering, how do you test this out? Well, you would test it here in the terminal. You would come here in the terminal and you type in something like this, telnet, put in the IP address. Um, I've typed that IP address so many times, I remember it by heart. Kind of sad, actually. Like sad, like I have no life. All right, so it doesn't work because we don't have the telnet installed on our computer. So what we'll do, we just do this. If you're running Mac, you could do brew install telnet, or you could do pip install telnet if you want to use Python or node install telnet. I'm pretty sure it's the same across platform. But for me, I'm just gonna do brew install telnet because brew comes with the Mac. Brew install telnet. Yes, maybe brew might have the library available, maybe not. We'll find out. Um, looks like something's happening. Cool. So fetching telnet. Telnet's been successfully installed. I always think a good rule of thumb, guys, when you're installing your software, always trying to read these things. So, to see if they give you directions. Sometimes they do give you directions and how to use them. So in that case, we did not. So I'm just gonna do this. It's trying um the port that I gave it. I don't know if it's supposed to take that long to initiate the connection. It's my first time, so I have no clue, no idea. Um, but we shall see. We're waiting for this to finish now. Um, I don't know. This is taking way too long. Well, suspected there was something wrong. So Telnet connected to the address and it did not. I don't know. So let's ask AI. I'm just gonna bring it the chat over here. See, I don't. You guys probably can't see this, but I typically don't. Uh, cancel. I'm not trying to install a speech. I typically don't use this on this side because it's kind of hard to. Because I have this camera here. Yeah, this dude right here was utterly useless. So we might have to figure this out on our own. Let me check my IP address. I think it's the right IP address. So what I can do confirm if it's the right IP address is I can go to this file right here, because that's the file we use to update our. Oh, sorry about that. Oh. Maybe we should just, I don't know, copy it. And what did I do here? I did Telnet cap with port 23 behind it. So maybe let's not assign the port. And we'll just do telnet. I don't know, like this. Oh, there we go. So the problem was simple, is because I assigned a freaking port. I'm just gonna tell AI this because clearly, see, sometimes AI is so useless, man. Anyway, so the issue is I assigned a port. I'm gonna have to rewrite this over. The issue was because I assigned a port to my telnet command, which was um, so clearly you guys can see that I'm in, but um, we're gonna have to start. You're not seeing any useful command in here, so we're gonna have to add some useful command. Without, but without. I don't know. You'll understand. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so now if we type in hello, it's gonna say you say hello. Remember that when we comment wrote that command in there, so we could technically say ls and see what happens. It says ls, but yeah, it's just repeating everything you just say. Um, so now we need to print some actual data on the screen. So all right, give me a second. Let me take this AI out of the picture. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to alternate DH and um, yeah, so we're gonna go here and we'll print some stuff useful here. Hold on, some useful stuff. Uh, let's see. Did it print that out? I don't think I saw it, guys. Hold on. Trying connected to. I believe this should have been ran. Give me a second. Um, well then, Houston, we have a problem. I don't know how to exit out of this unless I just turn this terminal off completely. Um, but yeah, so this video is taking way longer than I anticipated. Um, yeah, 40 minutes. Damn. So we're gonna stop this one right here, and I shall catch up to you guys later, and then come up with an update for it. You know what? Never mind. I would never do that to you guys. We'll finish this now. So let's do it. Yeah. So to exit out of this, you have to do control bracket, control plus bracket, and then we type in quit. There you go. So that's how you do that, guys. I had to quit the SAI for this one. Um, cool. So now let's jump into business. Okay, so all right, I was reading some stuff here. Let's jump in here. We need to go on our setup. So we're about to go on our setup. Um, there you go. Inside our setup, we got all print statement. Those are serial printing to USB and begin controller. So what we can do before we begin our controller, we're going to add Telnet debug logs. There we go. So we can do, I don't know. Let's do this. TR. Let's call it TPR actually. TPR. TPRI. And it's kind of like a print. It is a print. Um, so I was reading the documentation. That's why it took me a minute to come back here. Um, let's copy this. Let's copy our little emoji. We're gonna use some a wrench because we're debugging, guys. All right. Setup started, and then let's just copy this boy, and we can just do that. And then we can do um, ESP address, so more emojis, obviously. Um, oh, what's going on here? Somebody's having a bad time. Yeah, don't say. Anyway, so say ESP32 IP address. Oopsie daisy. And then we'll do some more prints here. Sorry. We'll print the IP address, obviously. And wow, what is up? Why does it do that? Ugh, I don't know. That's so annoying. So I forgot because it's going to be variable, so we got point ln. Sorry, doing the variables in here. Wi-Fi. Oh, that low. Call IP. And that's it. It's a function. It's a built-in function. So there you go. And then we'll again copy this bad boy. And oh wow, this time no issues whatsoever. That was nice. That was nice. I feel very good about myself. OTA ready. So printing some valuable data into the screen, obviously. Can't you guys tell this data is also valuable? Like, come on. Arduino, OTA, that's set up, host name. I think I already have that. And if I do, it will tell me that I redeclared the statement. ESP32 at OTA. Probably up there. Let me see. Guys, you won't believe it. I don't know where I'm at right now. There we are. That's where you're at. So yeah, we don't need that. Not yet anyway. Not sure how was that thought process about. So what we need to do is we need to jump in our loop now. There's the loop. Let's see, Arduino handle, server handle, temperature, Celsius. So I'm gonna print after the serial debug. I might even do, yeah, I'm gonna be as bold as this and just do telnet printing to terminal, sure, to remote terminal, and let's go back up there. Oh my god, my phone's at 10%, guys. Let's copy that. I'm gonna have to cut this video quick if I don't finish this. Oh god, no. Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna pause it because my phone's at 10%, and I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. So, um, I went ahead and filled these things up. I have my phone plugged in into the portable um, power supply for the Arduino. So now we can continue recording this. So what I can do now is we can kind of test this out. Yeah, let's cycle through this. Let's test it out. Mm. Yeah, it wouldn't work. Obviously, I would only say that because we did not push the update to the cloud like I should have. All right, let's not the cloud. My brain's not here. I didn't push the update to the um to the Arduino. I mean to the ESP32. Let's push the update. Something not right with there's a warning with the Telnet client. Not sure what it is. Oh wow, what's happening here? What's happening here? Well, we'll find out what's happening. So the next video is going to be adding um like a nice browser for it, like oh look, now we have the temperature printing into our um uh the terminal over the internet. We're not connected to anything. So except it's saying RSS 46 MB, so we gotta do the conversion for that one. I have already had that conversion, so what I could do is somewhere here, print Wi-Fi signal. So I could just do this, honestly. I could just do let me show you. Actually, I have a better idea. So I could do this, copy that, and then come down here. So there's something you're gonna learn here about C++ while we're doing this. So instead of mm, instead of doing RSS, let me just do I'm gonna call it Wi-Fi signal strength. Hey, so I could just do this, right? There's the problem with that is if I try to print it to the screen, it won't give me the actual data because this is a string and we have to let explicitly tell C++ that we're working with what type of data type we're working with. So I'm gonna say string and then wrap it around like that. All right, so that should solve that problem. So let's cancel this bad boy, control this, and then we need to type in what the heck? What is going on here? And we need to type in quit and clear this data out, and then we're gonna push once more into our Arduino. So updating Arduino. Not Arduino. ESP32. Yep. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Feel like I'm hacking. I'm joking, guys. I am joking. All right, and then now we can run our thing. Yep. Now we have Wi-Fi signal strength 100. Of course, we got the uh, decimal data here, but I could just change this into like, I don't know, percentage sign, and that would be 100%. And yeah, we got valid useful data coming into our screen now. So we got the I don't know, Celsius and Fahrenheit temperature and humidity and cool. Cool to me. So let's fix that one more time. Quit. Yes, I said quit. Oh god, this boy. Is it going to quit or no? I don't know. It seems like uh this is having a real hard time quitting. Um See, it's stuff like this that makes the video super freaking long. Like, what is this? What is this? Oh my God. Wow. It worked. Fantastic. Finally. So we now have a complete debugger that we can use to debug stuff online. We're just slaying. We're slaying dragons left and right. So final improvement for this one is I'm gonna push this code on GitHub. So the final improvement for this one is going to be um, making the web server um, look better. So because what I currently have just is a plain white page, no CSS, nothing, no interactivity. You can't really do anything. So that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, so now we can see we have, Wi-Fi signal at 100%. And just to kind of demonstrate that, I could technically unplug. Ooh, that was close. Almost turned off the battery pack. So I could technically unplug this and take it out of sight. You're not gonna see it for a little bit. And actually, I don't even need to do that. I could just block it with my finger, and then the Wi-Fi signal will drop significantly, 80%. So 94%. You guys can see it on the screen. Yeah, 92%. Or just plug it back in. Plug my phone back in because it needs charge. Cool beans. That is all. Oops, and I did that. Did I do that? Did I do that? Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I know this was a long video, so it is what it is. It is what it is. And I will see you guys in the next one. Finished.